Today, we're going to be learning about LinkedIn and how to use it to attract clients and secure collaborations. And because LinkedIn is not my area of expertise, I have invited our guest, Wendi Hatton, to lead this session. So Wendi is a sales coach and LinkedIn specialist. Women entrepreneurs over 40 hire her to acquire a high-ticket client because they struggle with attracting quality leads. They hate sales, procrastinate with self-doubt, and struggle with tech issues. Been there on all of this. So she helps them increase their income through optimizing their online presence, implementing collaboration strategies, and overcoming their biggest money block hangups. In short, she helps them make a bigger impact in the world while finally making the money they deserve. A Navy veteran and professional clarinetist. Those are two.
Oh, wow.
That's like, we could do a whole session on each of those. Wendi was named the National Association of Professional Women's Woman of the Year in 2015, 2016. Wow. She was also featured in the fall 2015 issue of the Women of Distinction magazine. Wendi lives in Northern Virginia with her husband of 38 years and has 2 grown children and 1 granddaughter.
Yay! My granddaughters.
Yay. Wendi, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your expertise. I am going to turn it over to you. And as we go along, let people know if you want them to interrupt with questions or wait till the end or however you want to run this.
Okay. Sure. Thanks so much, Ellen, for having me here. I'm really excited to speak with everyone. This is going to be interesting because usually when I speak to groups, they're usually all either coaches, consultants, therapists. So I've got some interesting fields here that I can talk about too to help with LinkedIn. So I was going to show you some slides, but I thought I would just talk and then show you LinkedIn, like the actual profile or the actual platform of LinkedIn. So if you can pull your LinkedIn account up like in a different tab or like so that it's nearby so that you can kind of look as I'm directing and talking about it, that would be beneficial for you.
I don't think I can do that.
Okay.
Well, you can listen to the recording afterwards and look at your profile at the same time then later.
I don't have a profile. You might not have heard me telling Ellen earlier that I once accidentally sort of got into LinkedIn because I was looking for a friend for that, but I've never used it and I don't have a password. I don't have a profile.
Okay.
Well, that's actually one of the things I ask at the beginning of these workshops. If someone, when there are like a lot of people, I say, so if anybody does not have a LinkedIn account, put 0 in the chat. And so I see how many zeros there are. And then I said, so the next one, could you put a 1 if you have an account, but you hardly ever use it? And I get a lot of those. And then put a 2 if you do have an account and you do actually go there every once in a while, just to check things out. And then 3, if you actually are active in there every day, reaching out to people and okay. All right, let me see what we've got here. We've got 1, 2, 3 1s and 2 2s and 4 1s and 2 2s. Okay, that's pretty common to see. So that is very good to know. So LinkedIn is the oldest mainstream social media platform there is. It's older than Facebook, it's older than Twitter, and older than Instagram, of course. Like all of those other ones are newer. And so it started back in May of 2003. And then it started out with the idea of having employers and employees on there. So like employers looking for employees, and then people who want to get a job looking for the employers or just posting their resumes and everything like that. So it didn't blossom until a couple years later when they introduced the very robust profile. It's the most robust profile on social media. So if you are a business owner of any kind, having a LinkedIn profile that looks great and is optimized for people to be able to find it, that is the best situation. Because even people who are not on LinkedIn can still see your LinkedIn profile. If they want to check you out, if they're considering working with you, they want to Google your name, and then you'll see this they'll see the LinkedIn profile come up. So when they go to the LinkedIn profile, they'll be looking at your public profile, which I'm going to show you where that is. So even if they don't have any kind of LinkedIn account, they can still see it. So that's why it's really important to have a profile that looks excellent. So people will see, oh, wow, she's really doing it. I'm going to check more about her and reach out to her and see how I can work with her. So if you have an account that is pretty much empty, nothing in it, then it won't be that impressive to your prospective people who possibly could collaborate or work with you. Okay, so once Microsoft bought LinkedIn for $26 billion back in 2016, that's when LinkedIn just skyrocketed. So that's actually when I started learning all about LinkedIn. When I started with LinkedIn, I just did it because people said you had to have an account. I didn't know any strategy or anything about it. And I'm a musician, as you know. So as far as my connections, I just reached out to people I knew, some musicians, some family members, some people like that. But then later, once I started learning all about LinkedIn, that was the wrong thing to do if I was there to actually make a difference and grow my business when I became a coach. And so what I did learn is that people in your network should either be potential clients or potential collaboration partners. Those two, like 90 to 95% of those people should be on your connection list. If you have other people like family and all that, and the reason is because of the algorithm. Like when you're posting things in LinkedIn and you have people who don't resonate with what you're doing, they're connected to you, but they're not interested in what it is you actually do, they won't respond to it. They won't comment or click or whatever. So LinkedIn will see that. And if you have more people not engaging in your posts, LinkedIn's going to think, oh, this must not be very good content, so we're not going to show it. So that's one of the first things I help my clients do, to make sure that they prune their list, their connections. And just to make sure that everybody knows, first level connections are people you and one other person actively connected with each other on LinkedIn. Second degree are the first degrees of your first degrees, but you're not their first degrees. And then third, it just keeps going third and so on. So if you don't have that many people who are your first connections, then you're not going to have that many extra people that you could reach out to as second connections. And so that's the main purpose of LinkedIn, is to build relationships. It's not a sales platform. I mean, you can put ads in, but the whole purpose of LinkedIn is to grow relationships with people who resonate with what you do, and you resonate with what they do. And then once you're off of the platform, then you can start, the whole, getting together, starting the whole sales process or whatever. But while you're on LinkedIn, this is all relationship based. I can't tell you how many times I see people, as soon as we connect, then the next thing is, hey, buy my stuff. Here's some stuff. And I'm thinking, I don't even know you. So it all has to start with a commonality. If you look through LinkedIn and find people who do the same thing or similar, or they went to the same school, or something that you are in common with. Like in my case, my headline says I'm a Navy veteran. So all these, veterans are attracted to it because they are too. So just find some commonalities that you can look for in your search for adding more connections. Okay, so what I'll do right now is I will share my screen. Let's see, and show you. Oh, I'm on Gretchen's. Let's see. I will start with. I'll just take you to the main page of LinkedIn. Okay, so this is LinkedIn. I'm going to take you through this little navigation bar here. And I'm going to also show you how you can extract your current connections so that you can look through them and see who is not a good match for your connections. But so this is the news feed here. So people, your first connections and sometimes second connections, you'll see posting here because your first connection either commented on it or something like that. So anyway, so the first thing I'm going to show you is if you go over to your picture here, and then you go to settings. Can you see this?
Yep.
Okay. Go to settings and privacy. I'm going to just show you where to extract your connections. And you'll probably come to this menu, it'll be up here, but go down to how LinkedIn uses your data. So the people, your connections, you actually own them. So you have the right to download them and do whatever you need to do with them, not put them on like an email list. No, not that, but like you have the freedom to reach out to them if they are on your connection list. So you click on that. And like you can download several things, but in this case, we're going to do connections and then request archive. Oh, I have to put my passcode. Okay, so now in the next 10 or so minutes, they're going to send me an email saying that my connections are ready to download. So they'll take me back here and there'll be a link that'll help me to download the spreadsheet. It comes in like a CVS spreadsheet. And so you'll see all the people that you have on your list, and you can reach out, or you can also sift through them and see who may not be the best fit for what you're trying to do on LinkedIn. So you just kind of highlight their name, like you go through like maybe 10, 20 for, the first couple of days. And then once you have them all highlighted, then you go to their profile. Okay, let me just go back here.
So are you highlighting the ones you don't want or the ones you do want?
The ones you don't.
In this.
Yeah, the ones you don't want. Okay, for an example, let's just say this would never happen. So let's just say that Ellen is one of the people that isn't a good fit. So you just go over here to more.
Okay.
And see where it says remove connection, go right here. So even if you have following and if you want to unfollow, you're still a connection. So make sure you go here to remove connection, but I'm not going to do that for him.
Thank you. But Wendy, when you get that spreadsheet of all your connections, what information are you getting? Is it just a name, or are you getting like what their title is or some other information so that you can, because there's going to be a lot of names I don't recognize on there because I've connected with them,
A lot of them have their titles. They used to include their emails, which was great.
Yeah. But
recently they did not include those. So
probably if people abuse that, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe we'll spend some time and I can just pull up my actual spreadsheet and just show you all what it looks like.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's how you get to that. So I also wanted to show you, this is the home button. The My Network button is where all of your connections are listed. And you just press connections here.
Wow, 8,000.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Oh, that's since like 2016.
What's the difference between connections and contacts?
Oh, the contacts are like people on your email that aren't necessarily your connections yet. This is just them suggesting that you can connect with those people.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm sorry. I didn't get the distinction. The connections, say the definition again of the connections, please.
Oh, connections, like your email list.
I thought you said that was the contacts of the email list.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's correct. These are people in my email not my email marketing list, but just in my like Gmail list, email. And they're just suggesting that I connect with them, make them part of this. That way I would have 10,000 if they were
They're
all mine.
saying, hey, since you know these people, why
Right.
not connect with them on LinkedIn too? And
Correct.
The connections mean people with whom you want to have a contact or a collaboration of some kind.
Right. Yeah. The connections are the ones that are officially your first level connections that are
on LinkedIn.
on LinkedIn. Right.
Yeah.
And so they're just making suggestions to, why don't you become your contacts should be your connections too. So, but LinkedIn doesn't pay any attention to if they are a good match to who, to what you're doing on LinkedIn. So that's one of the big things that are that LinkedIn really wants you to do, to be able to have people who are all who are aligned with what you are doing and what you're teaching and what you're posting on LinkedIn, just so they know that you're posting good content and making people, engage with LinkedIn and make them want to come back and be on LinkedIn. So
I have a question for you. So here you've got some invitations, right? And I get this all the time too, from people who are clearly trying to sell you something, which goes against everything you already told us, right? Like they're like, hey, come, I'm going to help you high ticket packages with Stella or whatever. Right? So they're not, I mean, would you consider these invitations from strangers ones you should accept or ignore because they seem just like they just want you to sign up with them? Or like, how do you view these?
These are actually, when you reach out to people to connect, this is what they'll get when they see your connection.
Right.
And it's always good to leave a personalized note like this lady did do.
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't responded, but if there's a way that you can just click the button and then it automatically sends a connection request to the person, like this one. Like she didn't do any kind of a comment or anything. And if they leave a comment, it's you can see it better. I haven't really gone through these quite yet, but so if you do go through, I have 18 of them.
Yeah.
Let's see, I do want to make, so if they do things that I have a ton of these different kinds of certified digital marketer type people on here. Also, I've received 18 and I've also sent. They give you this opportunity to see how many people you have sent to. And if you want to withdraw, you can, because LinkedIn, if you have a certain amount of people that you have sent out invitations to, but they haven't responded, then you kind of get a red flag. So I think it's way more than way more than 20. It's like maybe 50 or 60 or something like that. I'll have to get the right number for that.
Spamming people is what they're thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're not taking the time to check out their profile before you decide to reach out to them. Like I help coaches and healers. Like this woman, I could probably accept because
you reached out to her.
People. Oh yeah. Oh right. Yeah.
She
didn't. Oh, that's right. So that's true. These are all the people that I sent to.
Right.
A long time ago.
Forgive me if I missed part of this. Did you send an invitation saying, would you like to connect with me? Is that what you did? Maybe I missed that.
Oh yeah. So let me show you how to do that. Okay. So let's go to, well, then now we're getting to the searching. Okay. So we're going to search for some people here on LinkedIn. And has anyone ever heard of the Boolean search? Booleon search. It's where you can use and, not, or to help narrow down the search. So let's say I want to look for life coach. So these things are what people have on their profile. That's why it's coming in. Life coach. And whoops. Let's say if you only want to work with women, you can do that. That's if they have it on their profile. Let's say okay, let's just say that you don't want to work with any therapist. So when you click on here, it'll be life coach, women life coaches that'll come up. And you'll have to go to people. Looks like it already is, because there are different categories. So in this case, there are 156,000 results.
Wow.
That is a lot. But, but what you want to do is make sure there's second connections. It's right here.
Oh, okay.
So at least a friend,
At least second.
connection of yours knows them, is
Right.
connected to them. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yes. Yes, you have first connections that are connected to these people. So that brings it down to 43,000. Then you can narrow it down even more to location if you want to do your local area. I can, let's see, let me put
We're just, yeah.
Washington, D.C.
Oh, there. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this will narrow it down even more.
Yeah.
So that's getting a little
2,000.
bit more manageable. Yes, for sure. Let's see. And so just looking through these different headlines, which is, I'm going to show you how important it is to have a headline that's very clear and easy to see. It's, oh, okay, so she looks good. Let's look at her. So I want to actually connect, but I did want to look at her profile first. So you go to here.
Mhm.
And you just take a look. Life coach for teen girls and young women counselor. Okay. And then you kind of scroll down if you feel like reading in the about section. She wrote a lot. It's kind of bunched up, but I'm going to be showing you how to make a very attractive looking about section. The fact that she only has 183 followers tells me that she's not using LinkedIn as much as she could. And then she's got her certifications, and then also I don't see any recommendations, but I still would be interested in connecting with her. So you press the connect button, and then you can either send it or you can write a note, which is the preferred way. So then you write something like, came across your profile here on LinkedIn and thought we would benefit from connecting. So what you can do is just create little messages that would be templates. So you wouldn't have to be starting all from scratch. You just think of a nice, friendly invitation, and then you can use it for other people too, but customize it for them. Like always use their name. I came across your profile here on LinkedIn and thought we would benefit from connecting. Let's see. And then you can just think of something else that you noticed on their profile, saying, I think it's great that you work with teen girls or something like that. So then that proves that you actually took some time to figure out what, yeah. So I noticed.
So Wendi, what percentage of people respond to that? I mean, for instance, if people are on LinkedIn a lot, are they getting 100 of these a day or only 2 a day? Or, so how many actually kind of respond and say, oh, hi, Wendi, it does look like we should connect. And then how do you connect?
Okay. So it all depends on how often they come on LinkedIn. There are going to be people that hardly come here, and so you won't get a response. So you just keep, it's like a numbers game. You just make a daily task to reach out to, say, 10 or 20 people each day saying, came across your profile. And then out of that, maybe 30% of the people would respond. Some people, it takes weeks before they actually come there.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about LinkedIn. They're not as active, but there's some people who are. So if you just keep reaching out to people, it should it should work out for sure. Let's connect. Okay, so then I send it. So pending right here. So let's go back to where I was with the people who had reached out to me. Let's see, virtual assistant. Okay, let's just say it. Executive. Okay, sure, I will accept. So you go right here and accept. But you can also accept people right there in that list. See right here.
Mhm.
And then you can immediately send them a message saying, thanks for the connection. I look forward to connecting more deeply or whatever, without saying anything about what you have to sell or anything like that. So it's just starting a relationship with all the different people. And you can press ignore if you want to. Okay, so let me just go back here again. Do all of you know how many connections you have in your accounts?
I'm not at all involved, so I'm.
Okay, all right, right.
Totally if
I mean, I
I
think
think-
it shows up right on your
Yeah,
your
on your
home,
profile.
like your profile, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'll show you my profile. Let's see. Okay, so,
Oh, it says 500 plus. Yeah.
but then
Right. It
further
doesn't
down,
say, yeah.
further down it says, let's see, right there.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
thing that's
Oh.
different. That's a different number than what the other says. But anyway, so this area right here is the banner, and this is a place where you can just really show your branding, show what you're about, and have people resonate with what you are. Ellen, I really like yours.
Well,
I like
that's
yours a lot.
because it was professionally designed. So
Oh,
I finally
yeah.
had to get somebody to to help me with all my branding and graphics. But thank you. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how it says power life. Was that
Yeah.
intentional?
Yes.
Yeah, I really like that a lot. So yes. Okay, so let's do
That's good.
Yay.
So then right here, sometimes people like to put extra little emoji thingies and things that draw attention to your name, but LinkedIn doesn't really like that. So you just have your regular, just your name with nothing else. And then in here, you can put little emojis if you want to, but I just have these vertical lines in between the different things that I talk about. And like, if you put things like, the reason I have this founder in here is for when people search, a lot of times they search for founder or
Oh, that's
owner
it.
or
Mhm.
CEO or something like that. So if you put that first and then talk about who you help and how you help them, and then what you're like, some of the things that you end up doing. And then I added Navy veteran just so it'll start some commonality things. And so I also have my music stuff, but since I'm not promoting my music on LinkedIn, it's further down.
Mm.
So like right there is the symphony that I play in. This is below that because I no longer am with that. I'm no longer taking this particular training, even though I still am a sales trainer with him. This was a magazine that I had on the iTunes, but I don't have that anymore. So if you still could see, I had a radio show back in the like 2012 to 2018 on Blog Talk Radio. So people can just see what my experiences are, even though I'm not doing that anymore. I got a life coach certification, and this was like the oldest, the clarinetist in the Navy band. So people can look all the way down here, but that's not what I'm actually promoting. So all those things that I am promoting are way up higher. So people just can just see what I'm up to, depending on, what their interests are. Maybe somebody else is a musician, and that'll be a way to start a conversation, the commonality thing.
So if you're an author or a would-be author, because we've got a few of them with us, what
Mhm.
are you is your front and center? Obviously, somebody like Gretchen who's got a published book, I would think that the banner would have that in it. But if you haven't published yet, but you're an aspiring author, I mean, are you putting that out there, or are you waiting till you've got your first book deal?
It depends on because what if people search for authors and then they come and reach out to you, and then you could tell them you're in the middle of writing one of your books. So it depends on what you want the people that you want to attract. It depends on what you want them to read about you.
Right.
That will help them decide whether or not they want to reach out to you. Let's see. Yeah, so you could put author here. You could, because people search for that as well. And then who do you write for? Who are the people that you write for when you do write? That would be in this section right here.
Yeah.
And what benefit do you get there? What do they get out of what you write for them? I guess is my question. You would put that in here.
You can put things in that are not current, even in the top few lines, do you think?
That are not current, or that are
accomplishments that are in the past.
In the past.
Insert them in the top. For example, I don't identify as an author, but I have worked as a writer for magazines, medical mostly, and it's sort of relevant to what I'm going to do. So I thought I might be able to put that as one item in that top paragraph.
Yeah, you could put writer, and then
medical writer.
Yeah, anything that you want people to look at immediately. So the first thing they see is the top thing. Then they look at you. Then they look at this, and then decide whether or not they want to keep going down. If this doesn't resonate to them, they won't. They'll just leave. And if you notice, my photo had some background stuff in it. So somebody had this idea, and I thought, oh, great idea. So I went into Canva. Are you all familiar with Canva? Okay. Oh,
yes and no. Some people are saying yes, some are saying no. I'm a big Canva fan, but
oh yeah,
that's great.
It's to help you be a graphic artist without being one, really. And
how do you spell Canva? Is it C-A-N or C-A-M?
C-A-N as in Nancy, V as in Victor, A. And so what I was able to do was to erase the background and include a background color as one of my branding colors. So
it's free. Canva has a free version that does, pretty much everything. You just, the pro version has more stuff, but the free one, you can really do.
You can do a lot.
Yeah.
Like you can even make this.
Yeah. You can watch, there's free, a ton of people have done YouTube videos on how to use Canva. So it's easy to teach yourself. You don't need, yeah. And believe me, I have no graphic prowess at all. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to come down here. Let's say, this sounds good. Let's see what else she has to say. So they don't see this. This is just your
dashboard. Yeah.
Yeah. So then this is the about page. And if you see there are lots of white space in it, which is what makes it easier to read. If you have all bunched up lines, it's going to be harder to read. So if you can make more space in between and try not to do more than 3 lines, then that would be a good thing to do. And so there's this marketing thing that you do in the about section. The first thing you do, there are 4 components to it. The first one is you attract or interrupt, or you make the first 2 to 3 lines something that they can resonate with. Like in my case, has it been difficult to concentrate on the essential things that grow a successful business? Wondering where or when your first or next client will come from? Are you running on your own hamster wheel, exerting a ton of energy, but not getting anywhere? So then that's called the interrupt. Then the next one is engage, where you turn it around. This particular section are people who it addresses the problem that they have that they don't want. And then the next section, the engage section, it addresses the result that they want, but they don't have it. So in this time, it's time now to focus. It's time to get to make your mission to attract and enroll high quality ticket clients and These are all the things that they want to have happen. And then then you talk about a little bit about yourself, not a whole lot at all. Most of it is going to be talking directly to them, not about you as much. So for me, it's like these three little lines, and a little bit about the client enrollment success formula that I have. This is like all in my membership. And so by implementing this proven formula, you can be certain that high ticket clients are in your future. And then coming down here, talking about the free gift that they can sign up for. Unfortunately, there's no link, hyperlink down here. So they have to copy and paste it in the browser. So everything sort of leads to that, so that they keep reading. And so making sure that there's lots of space between the lines. Okay, let's see. Then this is your activity here. Like if you make any comments or do anything, it shows here. And if you want to see all the activity, you can do this with other people's profiles as well. All the activity, articles, posts, documents, things like that. You can just check and see how many people commented, or if you posted something and you want to check, you don't have to sift through the news feed to see if you can find it, because this is where it would be. And you can do the same at other people's profiles as well. Let's see, what else was I going to show you? Oops. Sorry. Okay. Activity. Oh, also recommendations. Oh, these are experience. So this is when you can be more like having tight lines here. People can just read more deeply about what you're doing, see more. You can write all this if you want. If they feel like they want to read more about it, come down here. So these are all of your different experiences, even current and past. And so you want to make sure if they're past that you end it. So you put the press little button saying you ended it, so that people will see that you did it for a certain amount of time. Like one time I didn't do that, and so had all these different experiences that I hadn't ended. So this guy thought I was doing all this stuff all at once. So, oh, okay, I better fix that. So education, you can put down here. Licenses and certifications, volunteer, and somebody looked and said, oh, you're a hand ringer. So that kind of started a conversation as well. And the skills and endorsements are good to have. People can endorse you by clicking, let me just see. They can just go to these are all the people who endorsed me for coaching. And once you get to 99 plus, then it stops there. It doesn't continue. So I guess I need a few more for the teaching one. So it's good to just, if you get to know someone, you can ask them to endorse you if they feel like you are worthy of it. You can add new skills for people to endorse. Anything right here, you can start with the keyword here, and it'll pop up if it's there, and you just add it.
Because I think LinkedIn will suggest that you endorse people too. I don't know if does somebody have to ask you to endorse them, or does LinkedIn suggest?
I think they do. Yeah.
I feel like I've seen that.
Yeah. I feel like
yeah. Yeah. You can even, like a couple times when somebody endorsed me for something, they endorsed me and then told me in the
wrote a note to you saying I just endorsed.
Yeah, I just endorsed you.
Yeah.
And then recommendations are always good too. The thing about these are there should be more balance. Like I need to give 2 more just so be more balanced, because it's if you've received a bunch but haven't given any, it doesn't look as good as if it's a little bit more balanced. If you've given a whole bunch but nobody's given you, then so either way it's a little out of balance.
I don't think I've got any of those. I've never asked anybody to recommend me.
Oh, it's easy to ask. You just press this button right here.
Yeah, no, it looks like it would be a great thing to have.
Who do you want to ask? Yeah, and it just kind of walks you through on how to do it. So this morning I I just randomly wrote one to a coach that I had been working with. I didn't think I had written one to him for forever. So, well, actually not this morning, but a couple of nights ago, I wrote one I went to his profile and just started write a recommendation. So I wrote it and sent it in, and he had just come in from being out of town for a few days. And that was the first thing he saw when he came to LinkedIn, and it made him feel so good. I said, I'm so glad that it did.
So when did you have a pro account or whatever it's called, a
premium?
Premium?
Sometimes, not at this moment.
Okay.
I go back and forth.
Is there a way to tell if somebody has a premium account or not?
Oh yeah, there's usually a little emblem, like a LinkedIn emblem around here somewhere that you can tell if they do.
What does that mean?
That means that they purchased the higher paid level account. There's Sales Navigator, and there's also the business premium. And you get to search, you get more like unlimited searching ability. When you have the free account, you only have a certain number of searches that you can do within a month. So if you get up to a certain number, LinkedIn is going to say, okay, you're at your limit. You can't send out any requests to connect until next month. And so when you're just starting out, I don't think a paid account is really necessary, because you get a lot with the free account. It's when you start reaching out to more and more people and want to search more, and if LinkedIn is more limited if you've got the free account. And the other thing is, you can sign up for any of these premium accounts and you get 30 days free. So technically you could sign up for the Sales Navigator or the business premium account and just work on it, search for a bunch of people for 30 days. And if you don't want to continue, if you don't want to pay, then you just cancel or you just stop the But then when you want to do it again, then you'll pay.
Right. It also gives you, I was on premium for a while, and it gives you a lot more analytics kind of what, like on the regular one, they'll tell me that 12 people from the Boston area, let's say, looked at my site or something. Mm-hmm. But I think if you have the premium, they'll break it down even further, like they're from Boston, but they're also this type of worker, or, you know what I mean? So I think that's the other benefit to the premium, but it's not inexpensive. I mean, it's $35 a month or $40 a month or something. So
or 80
or maybe 80. Okay. That might be old pricing.
The business one is 50, and then the sales navigator is 80.
Yeah.
So
well, and I mean, the what I keep having LinkedIn, like, you want to be able to see who is right, who's looking you up. You need a premium account, because they'll say you've this week you had 57 people search, found you in their searches or whatever. And if you want to know who they are, you've got to click on,
pay more. Right.
Yeah. You got to pay.
Right. Like with the free, you only see like 2 or 3 people.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they try to rope you in, but
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done it either. I haven't.
Okay. So I don't do the jobs because I don't work with people who are looking for jobs or who use LinkedIn for getting jobs. So I usually just skip over this. Are any of you looking to get jobs? Is that your purpose for LinkedIn at all? Or is it mainly as business owners, entrepreneurs?
I think mainly entrepreneurs from what, what I know of my members. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now I think I am going to start my little audits. Yay! My LinkedIn audits. Okay. Who would like to be first? Kathy or Gretchen? Let's do Kathy first, since she was quick to volunteer.
Yeah. Right. She was the first.
I was gonna say we could start with Gretchen.
I think we should start with Kathy. I should do a different banner. That's for sure.
Kathy, don't wiggle out of this. Come on.
Yeah, let's do Kathy first. We're going to hold her to this.
Okay. Well, first of all, we need to connect. We're second connections, but
Wait, this is Gretchen. So could you go back to Kathy?
oh, okay.
We're doing Kathy first.
We're doing Kathy first. Oh, wow. She's my third level. Okay. 11 connections. So also LinkedIn rates you as far as the completion of your profile. So either beginner, intermediate, advanced, star. I think it's called something like all star. But it's all based on the completion of your profile. I should have shown you mine, but okay. So this is the default banner. It's nicer than the previous one used to be, but this is a great way to showcase what you do, what your branding is. If you, let's see, you are.
So you wanted to do some contract work, I think,
Awesome.
Kathy. Yeah.
Okay. So if you wanted to go to Canva and just make something really pretty, but then also you are, oh, you're an author, right?
No,
Do you?
Kathy's
Oh, that's Gretchen. That's Gretchen.
I'm working on it, but
Oh,
no.
okay. Oh, you're a grant writer and content writer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my plan.
Okay. Okay. So even if you can't think of something to put up in here, there should be something that is related to what you resonate with, like maybe a field of beautiful flowers or something that really resonates to your personality, to your brand. Like even
so for Kathy, I was going to say, if you're trying to maybe get hired as because you were talking about doing some contract or freelance work, right?
Yeah, I was going to ask the question. I mean, I really need to develop both of my profiles. I need my professional profile to be better. And then what do you do? Do you have like a separate page for this contract content writing I would like to do? And then one for my chief financial officer for healthcare?
Well, the problem with that is LinkedIn doesn't allow you to have more than one account.
Okay, so I need to.
Confusing when people see you in one and then another one. So, so you have to figure out which you want people to resonate with. Like which one of the two do you want to have talking about at the top, and then you could mention in the about section the other, because the about section is a way for you to just really display who you are and what you do and how you can help people. And so if you have these two things, you can sort of make it so like write it so that it kind of meshes together. I do this, but then this helps you, this can help you as well, kind of thing.
So I would think if Kathy wants to, if you're already established in the one, in the, you know, in your job at the hospice.
Yeah.
But if what you're trying to do is launch or grow or expand your contract work, I would thinking that would be like, you would have a brand, you would have a, you know, some kind of graphic, and that would be what's front and center.
Yes.
On your profile. And then you know, I mean, because unless you're looking for, if you want people to contact you for the contract work, or do you want people to contact you because you work in a hospice and in your job there, you know? So it just depends on what do you want to put front and center to people? You know, what people do you want to find you, right?
Right.
Right. Just like with me and the music, that I'm not promoting that on LinkedIn. So that's why that's further down. You can include that, the CFO nonprofit further down. But if you really want to have people see your, you know, the contract and like what you're trying to launch and promote, then that definitely should go on the top. Oh, they see this here too.
Yep.
So that will catch their eye as well. And looking on here, there are so many characters that you can add a little headline underneath your name so that people will know exactly who you help and how you help them, and then say, okay, I'm going to keep reading, so we'll keep going down. So 11 connection, that's probably going to be your your biggest goal after you get your profile fixed up and everything and filled in a lot more?
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't want to reach out to anybody quite yet because there's not much on there. Not much on here. And then this is kind of small. Like there's so much room that you can write in here to let people know who you are and everything.
Okay.
Activity, 11 followers. So it's just you just probably haven't used the account very much, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what I would suggest would be to first find out what you could put in this area right here that resonates and coordinates with your grant content writing side of what you do.
Okay.
Open to work. Is that true? Is that
just for the freelance contract work, but yeah, I don't think I really want that banner there. I don't know how it got there.
Oh, really? Oh,
No.
It's a hashtag, so.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that part of the photo?
It
Yeah.
looks like it is. Do you have any other photos that you can replace that with?
Yeah, we'll work on that one too. New photo.
Yeah. And try to not have it some like backgrounds, just make it,
Yeah.
and your face is a little bit shadowed. So if you can a little bit more, if you have a chance to get a professional photo done, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if selfies would be like you have somebody take a nice photo of you in front of
even just, or a friend of yours with like a, who knows how to take good photos. Yeah.
All right. We'll new photo, new banner.
Yes.
New title, description, all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Title,
Headline.
description.
Yeah. Let me see your contact info here. Oh, there's something else I'm going to show you guys how to do.
I'm always amazed that people don't have, a lot of times the contact info just has the LinkedIn, which like this one.
Like that one. So,
okay.
So this is the default link that LinkedIn gives you, because I know that because you have all these letters and things, but I can show you how to customize your link so it doesn't look like that. So it looks much more professional. You can give it to people, you can put it on your business card or whatever, and it doesn't have all of these here. So I don't think I'll have to go back to my profile to show you how to do that.
Okay. Thank you, Wendy. This was awesome.
Sure. This is kind of slow. I don't know. I think it's because of Zoom. Okay, so see this right here, edit public profile and URL. So it's on the upper right side.
Okay.
And it should, the public profile, this is what anybody on the internet can see, even if they're not in LinkedIn. So you have to make sure it matches with what you wrote in the first, in your account. It should, but it's a good idea to check and make sure. So here's how you personalize your URL profile. It'll look like mine had all these letters and numbers here. So you just click that little pencil and delete them and just.
You mean if it had a whole bunch of stuff after your name, like which you probably did when you first started out, you just went in there and deleted those.
Yeah, just delete them. Sometimes they have the little hyphen in between, but I chose just to have the name there all in one word and then save. Okay, and then make sure that your profiles is public. That is after it's ready, when you're ready to do it. Name, number, only first degree connections, no, your network, like public. So that's, if you want to be seen by as many people as possible, definitely press public. Then these are all of the different things I said, show. Okay, then let me show you the rating I was telling you about. That LinkedIn gives you. If we were on Kathy's account, we could see what hers is, but this is just to show you. It is a little bit like right here, I think. it will be. Just so that you can see it right here. That's the
Oh,
LinkedIn. Yes. And I actually have, for my programs, I have another level. It's called All-Star Plus. And that's when you have all the people in your connections, and when you're ready to reach out to people who are your target market or your potential partners. They don't really, this is all based on everything's filled out in here. It doesn't even matter what you say. They don't care. It
doesn't matter how many connections you have. It's just that you've filled out your profile.
Well, actually, 250. If you have that many, I think you'll become an all-star. If it's pretty low number. It might even be 50 or 60 or something.
Okay.
What are the other possible ratings besides All-Star and All-Star Plus?
Oh, well, All-Star Plus is just mine. It's not LinkedIn's. So the other one is like beginner, intermediate, advanced, and they're like 3 or 4 before this one.
Okay. You are going to be mortified to know that mine says All-Star. Seriously.
Good for you.
Not even close. Yes.
Congratulations.
Oh my gosh.
Weird. That's so
really
interesting.
Yes. Here, I just looked at it. It's right here on my dashboard. All-Star. It's crazy.
That
It's the
crazy.
saddest looking profile ever.
Well,
And I just looked at mine and I have 500 plus connections, but I'm intermediate.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
This is crazy.
Oh,
okay,
wow. So
that they're not making much sense now. Yeah.
no, yeah. So I wonder
Maybe
if
that's because Wendy just worked on yours for a minute. She
Yeah,
turned
you
you
just have
into
to
an
look at it and you get all stuck.
oh yeah, maybe because somebody actually came to it. Oh,
Right.
wow.
No, I think I saw you wave your magic wand, Wendy.
Yeah.
That is funny. Okay. Wow. Okay. That is very interesting. Okay. So for you, Kathy, is your assignment.
Yep.
Should you choose to accept it? Let's see. Where are you? Oh, I guess.
You have to go back. Yeah.
Okay. Work on your headline, like start at the top and what's that? Can you hear something?
No.
Yeah. There's another voice coming in.
Oh.
All right. We're good. I don't know what that was.
Oh, okay. Kathy. Okay. I guess I got out of where Kathy was. So Kathy, is your first assignment is to see if you can figure out a nice headline for your banner and a photo, I guess, all the way to your about section. That would give you some time to work on it. And then the about section is probably something that you have to work on a lot. Here we go. Like I'm constantly updating it like every day. Oh, the other thing is you want to make sure you set there's a question in settings where it says, do you want your people to see every change that you make? And you want to make sure it says no.
Okay.
If they do, then you're going to be.
Every time you make a change, people get notified.
Yeah, they're going to be bombarded by it. So
yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah. Okay. So hopefully when you change your profile photo, this will go away.
Yep.
I thought it was something that people actually consciously add to it.
Right. Yeah.
I guess not. And then, also download, I guess everyone can download their contacts. I mean, their connections.
Their connections, right.
Like how I showed you. So that's step 1, that's pruning. And then going through and making sure people who are not, like if your cousin's there or some people who are not going to resonate with the things that you post or say on here, make sure they won't know if you disconnect them.
Okay.
Yeah, they won't say, so-and-so, you just got disconnected.
They're not notified. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so then down here would be a different So if you want to listen to the replay again, you've got the 4 components. The first section is address the problem that people have that they don't want, and then address the result that they don't have, but they do want. And then third, just talk a little bit about yourself, just to make sure that they know that what you're talking about, and how you can help them get what they want. And then at the bottom, if you have some kind of call to action, some place where you can take them to go further. If you have an opt-in gift on your website, or just to your website, you can do that. So they would have some place to go. Rather than
this fits really well with like a service business like Bonnie, and even the groups that Felicia wants to run, and that contract work that Kathy wants to do. For somebody like Gretchen, who's an author, like what's the, and maybe you should go to her profile because I'm asking, but you know, what's the and Gretchen may be the better person to answer this. Like, what would you want to tell people? Are you selling them your book? Are you, hey, I'll come and to your book club, and if you're reading my book and talk to you, or like, I don't know what an author puts there.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, I guess, one of the things to decide before you can set up your profile is get really clear on who it is that you want to speak to when they come to your profile. And just think of an avatar, you know, I don't know if you've gone through that little exercise of creating your own ideal.
Right. Yeah, we haven't done that as a group yet, but I'm sure many of, you know, these women have done it on their own. Your ideal client, you know,
my ideal reader.
Yes,
have an
ideal reader. Exactly.
Right. Even down to how old they are, like what the age range is, what their interests are, did they go to college or no, do they have a family and all that. And so once you create that, then there are going to be thousands of other people just like that person.
So that's not seen as, I don't know, like, let's say my readership is mostly, say, 40 to 80 or 65 or 70 or whatever. And it's women, and, you know, they have education. That's not seen as, I don't know, what's the right word to use, but is that wouldn't be seen as dismissive, or whatever the word is I'm looking for, of other people, in other words. I mean, it's okay to hone in on specific category of people.
Each down. Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because other people will still reach out to you, even if they don't fall under the, you know, the messaging that you're putting in there. They might still be interested. And so what you're doing is narrowing down to one particular type of person. 40 to 80 might be a little large range, only because of the messaging. Someone who is 40 may not resonate with what you say to them if you're talking to an 80-year-old person.
80 was too high, but I mean, 40 to 70, 40 to 65. I don't know. I mean, I definitely have readers in all of those.
But I guess I have a macro question here for both Gretchen and Wendi, and that is, who are you? I mean, what's realistic in terms of, do authors use LinkedIn to get readers, or do they use LinkedIn to form collaborations with bookstores, or, you know, like the intermediary people? I guess I'm
right. Or maybe, or in my case, you know, the topic of my memoir, you know, some or association that works on that topic, for instance, let's say. I mean, I frankly, from what I hear, is LinkedIn isn't used as much by authors, although some do, as, say, Facebook. Facebook's probably the primary thing that authors use, and Twitter. But I do have connections with some authors here, and I just don't really, I feel like I'm on this to sort of sell my book, which you're telling me is not the right reason to be on here. So I have to think of, you know, why do I want to connect?
I mean, I'm asking, I don't, and Wendy's not telling you that. I'm the one who's saying, is that really, are you selling your book to the reader, or are you looking for
Right.
collaborations with middlemen and women or other avenues or organizations that might decide to use your book or even,
Mhm.
your survival of trauma and abuse? I mean, there's like,
Right. Mhm.
there are organizations or psychologists who'd want to have you come speak, or like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of riffing here, but I'm
Yeah.
wondering
that's-
whether you, I would never think to go to LinkedIn to find, I mean, I guess if there's an author I really liked, I would go maybe look them up on various platforms, but I would,
Mhm.
I don't think I'm going to find a new book to read on,
Right.
on a
Yeah.
memoir to read on LinkedIn, but I might find, hey, I really want to get a speaker, and I would love to get somebody like a woman who's really overcome a lot in her life. And, oh, there's a memoir she wrote about,
Mhm.
that Gretchen wrote about that. And let me have her come and do a Facebook Live or that kind of thing. So that's why I'm
Mhm.
trying to figure that out. I don't know, Wendy, if you have any thoughts on that.
So my thought around that would be if her messaging was to the people that she wants to read her book, other people who will have the same audience as her will look at it and say, oh, my people could benefit from that as well. So
Mhm.
so then the collaboration would start because the audiences are the same.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
But then the psychographics become a lot more important than the demographics, Neely. It's like, it's an inspirational story of resilience and overcoming obstacles. And, like that, a person who's attracted to that as a reader, rather than a woman 40 to 60 or
40 or-
whatever, like rather than, it's even more important to me than the demographics.
That's a good
It's sort of,
point.
what's what is it that's attracting her? I really want a story of somebody, to give me hope and inspiration, or to show me that there's a way out, even if I'm struggling myself. I mean, I don't know.
Well, probably, the banner up here, if you could somehow create a replica of your book cover.
Yeah, that's easy. Yep.
Oh, good. Like in Canva.
I don't know why it's not there.
She already published her first memoir. So that's,
Excuse me.
Yeah, and I have a lot of graphics. I mean, I don't know why I haven't completed this. I'm embarrassed to be looking at it right
Is the
now.
book title Poetic License?
Yeah,
Is that the book title?
yes.
that is, yes.
But,
Gretchen,
and
you
also that title does not really, that title makes me think that this is a book of poetry. So it's not, you don't even have a subtitle there, right? I mean, I don't know if there is a
Right.
subtitle or not, but
Well, a memoir.
right,
But
okay.
I could take, Ellen, I think in some ways my purpose statement,
Yeah,
and sort of spin off of that as a tagline, perhaps, sort of.
yeah,
Right. And putting it
Who I'm
up in the
writing.
banner, everybody's going to see that.
that's an
and
idea,
think,
yeah.
Yeah, that looks really interesting. Ellen, I just noticed the painting behind you, or the photo, Elena, and it looks exactly like Gretchen's.
Huh. Oh,
It's be your
that's
new
true.
banner. It's a painting, yeah.
So yeah, and then there's a lot more that you can write in here.
Yeah.
Are there any other interesting details about you that you would want someone to see right away that they could possibly resonate with? Let's see.
Well, I think even what your book is about, Gretchen, and the fact that your father was a famous poet, and like people will grab onto that, and that it's just like a very interesting backstory that informs your memoir. That's really the whole,
Yeah, and you can see that I haven't looked at this since, probably 3 months before pub date last year.
Right,
Because it's
put that in there.
it's including pub date, right, which is old. So
Wow. Let's see how many. 576. Okay.
how do you know? Because it was down there. Okay. And am I an all-star or am I a nothing?
Oh, you'll have to look on your.
Yeah, you can only see it yourself when you're logged in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I would say that you're an all-star in LinkedIn's eyes? Because it looks like you've like filled out some of these things.
Well, Kathy's an all-star, so I don't know.
Yeah,
really?
Kathy's-
Sounds like Bonnie's.
Oh, I
on
actually
the-
I didn't really realize I have a few endorsements too.
Oh, excellent.
I mean, those are for my consulting work probably, but I could work on getting some for my writing.
Well,
or
and I
speaking
probably
or-
wouldn't put the consulting like front and center, right? I mean, that's
Right,
like
right.
that,
I don't-
all that consulting stuff, who cares at this point, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's beautiful, congratulations, but you know, like based on what your new path, your new chapter that you've
Right.
embarked on with this writing, there's an
Yeah.
opportunity to make that.
Want to downplay the consulting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then if you are familiar with Canva, you can take this photo and like take the background out and put another color that is, do you have branding colors that you could put?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe from your book even, you probably have the
Yeah,
the
I have a
color.
blue. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. I saw that with yours, Ellen, too. Let's see.
I know.
There's a little bit, not that much. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked this.
God, I look very pale there.
Chicago mode. not
Yeah,
Florida.
exactly. That's my Sarasota photo.
Let's see how many connections you have.
Let's see. I think I've got,
Oh, 1382.
Oh, that's pretty good.
yeah.
Nice. Okay, excellent. Want to take a look at your activity? Okay, let's see, where is it? Here
Yeah,
we go.
let's see.
So this is how you can go to anybody's
Oh,
profile
you
and
can
do
look
that.
at it. Yeah, I definitely, I mean, I use it to promote, you know, on my page, I promote stuff that I'm in.
Right.
Mhm. Let's see, do you have any articles? Not yet.
No, I'm not doing any articles. I do
Any posts?
posts for whenever I think whenever I put a new, well, that's gonna be
Mhm.
everywhere, but once you go down, I
So,
think.
so speaking of articles, I mean, can I link, how do you put in an article? Because I've got a bunch of
Oh.
articles I could put in, but
Here,
you just go to,
this go to
Oh.
home and then click on this. And then you have this, you know, your image and all this
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
I
It
mean,
doesn't
so
have-
this is one you would write on LinkedIn.
Right. If it's
Can
something
you-
that you wrote originally, you could just paste it,
It doesn't have to be
see. Copy and
original
paste.
to LinkedIn. You
I
can
see.
copy paste anything that you've
Yeah.
written.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Interesting.
then there's the publish button.
Yeah.
And then Ellen was asking about events. Here's
Yeah.
here's where the event button is.
Yeah.
And then you can invite people. You could put photo, your whatever link, logo, or
Yeah.
all the info and all that stuff. So that's good.
I mean, I've been invited to events through LinkedIn. I don't know if people are, they're obviously not hosting them on LinkedIn. It's not like there's a Zoom for, I mean, you just, they put the Zoom link or the invitation to sign up for, register for it there.
Mhm. Yeah, and if you just want to, this is how you post. You just, and you want to go anyone plus Twitter or connections only. So you click whichever one you want people to see, and then you can include a photo or a video. So that they're still in beta mode in terms of live. LinkedIn, you may have seen certain people go live on
Yes.
LinkedIn, but it's not available for everyone yet.
Ah, okay.
I think you have to apply for it or something. So I think eventually it's going to be available for everyone. So yeah, so let me think. Does anybody else, well, you've been asking me questions
So
all throughout.
Bonnie, does this give you, I'm curious to know if this gives Bonnie ideas for her photo organization business, because that to me would seem that LinkedIn would be very much, you know, a great resource for you, Bonnie.
What's your last name, Bonnie?
Shay, S-H-A-Y. It's Bonnie Hillman Shay.
S-H-A-Y?
Hillman Shay, S-H-A-Y, Hillman.
Oh. S-H-A-Y.
There
Oh, right
she
here?
is.
Good. Owner. She is owner at Mariposa Photo Organizing.
Yeah, the ideas that I've come up with, listening to your talk, Wendy, is that because I'm all about butterflies. Mariposa, you may know, is butterfly in Spanish. And I love butterflies, and they're just in my life. But I think I would like to put some old black and white photos to like catch someone's eye looking
That's
at
a good idea.
I'm all about the visual, right?
Yeah.
So I'd like
Nice.
to have, and I have a person who does all my posting and all my, image generating. So I'm going to have her rework this.
Good.
One question I did have is, I think I'm interested in LinkedIn, not so much for clients, because I don't think necessarily clients are going to find me via LinkedIn, but more strategic partners. Because I feel like, for instance, I would love to work with, financial professionals or estate planners, people that work with older people on their legacy. Because to me, their photo collection is part of their legacy, besides their ethics, their values, their assets. But to me, it's really comes down to more their story.
That would be a great
That's
thing
great.
to search, like search for those types of people here. And I like your photo. It's like professional. It's got a nice clear background and a nice smile and everything. Nice. Okay.
Thank you.
So if you want to find those collaborations, then it's really you're asking like, well, what kind, like the wording, I guess, should really reflect what would those people be searching, right? And how would they, what words would they use that would then allow them to find you? And then if you were going to do a search, what would you, use as search terms?
Yeah.
Find, I mean, is, legacy.
Well, legacy. So whatever you would search for, the people have put that somewhere in their profile. So if you wanted to put legacy and then people, then it would bring up all the people who wrote legacy somewhere in their in their profile. I'm not sure if that is narrowed enough. It could be anyone, it seems like.
Right.
It's anywhere in the profile, including the description and everything is what comes up, not just the title.
Right. Let's see. Wait, let me look for people. Where's the people button? I don't even think it's not a name. It's not somebody's name. So they didn't bring up the people button. Wait, let me just click on it.
Oh, maybe you can narrow it down once. Oh, here's people.
Oh, here we go. Legacy consultant, legacy. Okay. Whoa, 1.1 million. Okay. So somewhere in their profile, like they put legacy.
How about Chicago area?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because you work mostly local. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm printing photos. I don't want people shipping things.
So these are all my second connections, but it's just for the example. Let me click, okay, down to 10,000 in Chicago. Connections, second. These are people that you would want. So 635.
Okay.
That's a good number. At least, for me, I don't know what would come up in your profile. I do have a lot of people. So these are all second connections. And then you can just go through, if you like the headline, then go to the profile, take a look at it. If it resonates with you, then you can send a connection request.
But it's not, and you don't want, do you want, because do you want to exclude people? Like, would you want to, I guess you could always say, but not financial or not, or whatever it is, or not business. I mean, well, you do want business. Oops. Like if or not photography or whatever it is, the competitors, I don't know.
Oh, let's see. Wait.
I mean, who would you want to exclude out of that? That's the question.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Huh. It took out some people.
Yeah.
Out a few. What does it say under current company? That drop down was.
So you could put your own
thing.
Company in there.
That's like, that's not a lot of choices. That's just, I don't know.
You could put other things too, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's see with the all filters.
I'm
So-
doing this same exact search and I have 122.
Oh, for legacy.
really?
Yeah, legacy, Chicago, second, and people, that one, yeah, without even the photography thing, yeah.
No, I did legacy, not photography. I just figured, let me try exactly what Wendy did.
Yeah,
Oh,
because you have fewer connections, that's why.
yeah.
Right, yeah,
That's a
122,
good-
that's a
That's
reasonable
a good
amount.
number. That's a good number.
But that's a more reasonable number to
Yeah.
deal with.
Yeah,
Exactly, Gretchen.
So what you can do is go up here to the browser and highlight it and copy it and put it in a spreadsheet or something. So you always have this
the search
search
ready to go.
that you can come back later. You know, this particular one has up to 60 pages. So I'm not going to get up to 60 pages in one sitting. So I'll save the link and put it in my spreadsheet or somewhere. And so that I can come back and continue.
I see.
I'm
Okay.
saving it in my Wendy notes.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
we're coming up on time, so
Wow.
I know it's like this is so flown by. There's so much we could keep talking about with you, but I just wanted to extend my thanks to you for coming and showing us, really giving us a tour of LinkedIn. I thought it was so helpful, and so especially the way you conducted this, and then the little mini audits, and so I really appreciate you taking the time to do this with everybody. So thank you
Oh, my
so
pleasure.
much.
Really
Wendy.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Wendy. And
helpful.
thank
Yeah,
you,
thank you,
Glenn.
Wendy.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you, Wendy.
welcome.